Yes, 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 yes. I'm here. Don't forget to check out Doggie Diamonds No Filter on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The links are right below in the description box. And also for the $100, I promote whatever you need on my social medias and website. That's my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and my website, www.doggiediamondstv.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggie Diamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Must be Cash App ready. So, without any further ado, I'm Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. You know what I do. You know how I do it. Today, I got a special guest. Hopefully, with simulcast right now. Let's see if he's here. You there? Wait, where he go?
Yes, sir. I'm up in the building.
Okay, he's up in the building.
I had to get my shades on like you got.
Introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Kwame Brown, man. Former #1 draft pick. For the Washington Wizards. Yes, Michael Jordan was on the team at the time, but yeah, that's pretty much me. First #1 draft pick out of high school, black.
Yeah, was that the expansion, the first year of the expansion team?
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. I don't want to say that. And they be like, see, you don't know. I'm definitely not sure about that.
Got you.
So yeah, my mic over here.
Yeah, you gotta turn that down just a little bit.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So maybe I need headphones for this one, or do I need headphones for the computer?
Probably for the computer, because one of them gotta get turned down.
All
but
right,
you can hear me though, right? They can't hear you.
I hear you perfect.
Okay.
Perfectly.
Okay. So we just getting the technical side together. That's what we was doing before y'all got, because we simulcasting on his channel as well as mine. So shout out to everybody who's here in the building with us today, who's definitely in for a treat, because we're going to go through it. We're going to talk a lot, because like I said, it's a lot that I didn't know about some of the things that he know dealing with sports entertainment. And you know, as black people, that's all they think we got. Sports is entertainment. So why not talk to a man who's been through it firsthand?
What about now?
You sound perfect now.
Okay. It's all mute over here too.
You was echo. The echo came back. Say something.
Yo.
Yeah, it's every now and again, but it's cool. It's cool.
It's messed up again.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep coming back and forth. It's going and it's coming. So
maybe I should have had headphones for this.
Okay.
Let me see. I might need to just turn this down a little more. No, I'm still hearing.
Because as long as you can hear me, then we good.
What about now?
Yeah, it's cool. We could deal with the little echo. It's all right. It's not like a long extended echo.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll put that way over there. Maybe that'll work.
No, that echo is crazy. So, all right. So what we doing wrong? All right. What could it be? It's one of them that's causing the echo. Your computer speakers with you on the laptop or computer?
I think it's when I take this off of mute.
So if you take that off of mute, then they can't hear you?
Yeah, they can't hear me. Hold on, let me see.
I can't hear you either. I can't hear you either now.
Okay, that's it. So either they're gonna have to have the mic off. They see and hear me with the mic off over here. Okay.
So that's fine.
So maybe the mic needs to be muted over here.
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That'll work. If they can hear me like this with the mic muted, they can hear us.
Yep, so we
That's
good.
What's up.
All right, so we got Kwame Brown in the building.
No, now it's saying it's muted. Well, we can't win for losing.
So, all right. How about I do it? So could I do it and send you the video and you upload it to your channel too? Would that work?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah,
that's
let's
perfect.
do that.
That's perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So we got Kwame Brown in the building. Former #1 pick. So I wanted to go back to you. Where was you? Was you being scouted in junior high school or something like that? Because you came out of high school. So where were you being scouted at?
I came out of nowhere. I was one of the late bloomers. Okay. I saw Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, all those guys getting the accolades. I'm not a hater. So what I said was, I'm going to position myself to where everywhere they go, I'm going to go. And so that's what I did. I went to the Sonny's Roundball Classic, won MVP. I went to the Peach Jam, won MVP. And just a bunch of different tournaments that I strategically placed myself in. I went from nobody knowing who I was to who is that? You know, that's how it was.
Who taught you how to play basketball? Or just was it something you did in the hood?
We just played all sports. I mean, my first love was football. So that's the first time you can hit people, you know, take out frustration without getting in trouble, without going to the principal's office, hand-to-hand meetings. So it was a stress reliever for me. But then basketball was something that we did, you know, just to stay out of trouble and just to stay in shape. So the youth programs and everything like that saved my life.
The height, where is it hereditary, the height?
I'm actually the tallest one out of all of my brothers. So we're all pretty tall. My shortest brother is about 6'4", 6'5".
Oh wow.
And it goes from that to me. So everybody's above board. My grandfather was 6'6", my mom was 6'1". So
yeah. So you grew up at SC, right? South Carolina?
I grew up part of my life in South Carolina. My dad went to prison, and then I ended up in Detroit. Actually in Saginaw. We was in Detroit, and then we went to Lansing, Michigan. That's where a part of my family is still at. And we spent some time in Jersey. I have an aunt named Kimberly in Jersey. So we spent time up there. We kind of bounced around after my father did what he did. And then we ended up landing in Brunswick, Georgia.
Got you. So you start playing basketball, and from these tournaments, you was getting the eye of the scouts.
Yeah, like I didn't even know it. It's just I saw these guys on the magazines. You know, I saw Tyson Chandler when I was I think it was in the 7th grade or 8th grade, and I just saw this guy on the magazine dunking the ball. I said, "Oh shit, I want to do that. I ain't gonna hate on him, but I'm finna run him down." And so that's what it was. I said that's supposed to be me on that magazine.
Gotcha.
So I went from an undefeated point guard. I played point guard in middle school. So my middle school team went undefeated. And then from that 7th grade, 8th grade year, that 8th grade year to the 9th grade, I grew 8 inches.
Wow.
So I never got to play JV. When they saw how big I was, they said, "Oh no, you're going straight to varsity." But I had to grow into my body, but I still had the point guard type of skills.
Got you. So when did you realize that it was real, that it's a time where somebody is saying, hold on, you possibly could go to the NBA? When did that hit you?
When it happened.
Just like that.
I didn't plan for it to happen. Like to be honest, I can't say that I dreamed this all my life. I'm not like the other people. I can't say this is what I dreamed and this is what I strive to do. I didn't have time to think about that. My brothers was going to prison in and out. They were kicking in my door. 6 o'clock in the morning, we up on face down on the ground being cuffed, and then I got to make it to the bus to go to school. So I didn't have time to think about basketball being away. My thing was, I don't care what it is. I know I'm finna make a way. So that was my mindset. It don't matter what avenue, what it is. I know I'm finna come through this by the hard work that I put in.
Got you. So you, was it an agent that hit you first, or was it a scout? Who hit you first?
The first time I noticed people were in the stands, it was one of the assistant coaches. He was like, "Man, there's somebody over there in a fat suit," and I think it was the coach from Billy Donovan from Florida, University of Florida.
Got you.
I got recruited first by Florida State. I was going to go to Florida State at first, and then after my sophomore year, then every school in America wanted to get me in, but I pretty much wanted to end that hoopla because I don't know if anybody else tell the truth about being recruited, but everybody sound the same. And then, you know, everybody's buttering up to you. Everybody's kissing you behind. And then everybody trying to give you girls, money, whatever you want. So I wanted to end that. I didn't want to. That's not me. I'm more of an introvert. I'm not there for all that. I just knew I had a mission that I was going to accomplish.
Could you tell your chat room, because I don't think they can hear you because you muted, just tell your chat room to come over here. Just tell them to come to Doggie Diamonds TV.
Hey chat, come to Doggie Diamonds TV. There's no sound over here. He's going to send the video, play it online. But go over to Doggie Diamonds TV, please.
Perfect. So, Florida State, was Charlie Ward still there?
No, Charlie Ward was gone.
Okay.
That was about I think Charlie Ward got drafted in 97 something like that.
Yeah.
I got drafted in. I was going to go to school in 2001.
Got you.
Yeah.
So at what point did you say, okay, I could go to the NBA. I don't got to go to college, because college is, I guess a lot of kids' dream. Was it a money thing? But you was like, yo, I could get some money. I'm going to the NBA. What was it?
It was after the workout. I said, if I don't do good in this workout, then I'm gonna in this tournament, then I'm gonna go to college.
Got
And
you.
when I did the tournament, I killed everybody, and it's just. I was like, okay, well, there's nothing higher than number one from a basketball standpoint. So I might as well throw my hat in the race, and then after that, I can always go to school.
So, all right, the big question: at what point did you ever speak to MJ at any time prior to you getting drafted?
No.
So you only spoke to him when you got there.
Yeah, like there's this big misnomer that MJ drafted me number one. He didn't draft me to play in Washington Wizards. And the sports media, they won't tackle this situation because they know it's true. I got drafted in that old regime, that old guard, Charles Oakley, and Antonio Davis, and those guys. You didn't play while you were a rookie. They didn't play rookies. So MJ wanted to win. He had 1 year, maybe 2 years at best. MJ's mind, if you get him to the playoffs, then he's going to win the championship. That's how determined he is. Elton Brand at the time was averaging a double-double, and he was in Chicago. I was supposed to be traded. Tyson Chandler was supposed to go to the Clippers. I was supposed to go to Chicago. Elton Brand and a couple of picks were supposed to go to Washington for me, or I was supposed to go to Chicago for a couple of picks, and because Elton Brand made the highest money. So I know Chicago was big on me. I was athletic. I moved the ball. They wanted me to play alongside Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry was more of an established back to the basket post player. I was more of I could handle the ball, quick, guard everybody. And so they wanted to see what we did together. But unfortunately, that trade didn't happen because if you look at the history of the Washington Wizards, they trade everybody that turned great. And they just finally got tired of that. They traded Richard Hamilton, who you see what happened with that. They traded Rasheed Wallace, and you see what happened with that. They traded Ben Wallace. They traded Chris Webber. They traded
Juwan Howard.
So everybody they traded left other places and were successful. So at that time, I just got the unlucky Poland is going to stand up for herself and tell MJ no. And that's something that you can't do.
So was it ever a time, now you're on the team, what is it like? What's the day-to-day life of an NBA player, especially you're 18, right? You're 18 at this time. So how can I pose it to? Were you a kid in a grown man body trying to learn a grown man game and a grown man business, but you still a kid?
No, I was I wasn't really a kid based on the experiences that I had. Everybody wanted to say that, but I was ready to go. You don't go through things that I've gone through in life. Of course, there's a learning curve. There's players that go to 4 years of college and the game is so fast, you have to learn that type of game. But it's not the game that's the problem, it's the people that's the problem.
Got you.
I was young enough, I was vibrant enough that whatever you throw at me, I'm willing to learn. I'm not going to take offense to it. I'm ready to go. And that's why you see some of the best players in the league now are the younger guys. It's just they don't have the discipline. You still need the discipline of the older cats. Because at first, when I didn't play, I would react negative. I would not take care of the game part of it. A lot of guys, I would tell young players like this, I appreciate the veterans that love up on you and tell you the truth instead of the ones that hate on you, because it's a lot of money involved in this. So it could be a power forward there that they know I'm coming there to take their spot. Why would they want to train me up when I'm there to replace them? So a lot of times those guys, that rookie hazing, they would do you dirty because they know you really here to replace me. So let me make sure this window closed. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I never really Ricky hazed anybody because of that reason. And so I just think a lot of the young players need to learn, like I learned, if you're not playing, you got to keep that positive mindset, because there's a time that it's gonna be your time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't handle business when nobody's looking, you're not gonna be able to handle business when everybody's looking. So that happened to me one time. I was like, fuck it, they ain't playing me. I ain't practicing. I'm practicing, but I ain't playing. So fuck it. You get down on yourself and you chill and you relax. Next thing you know, somebody get hurt. Oh shit, I'm in the game.
Mm.
I'm in the game. I'm sucking wind, because this game, no matter how much you work out in practice, the game is twice
The
as
game is
fast
the
as
game.
that.
The game is the
The
game.
game is the game.
So I
That's
want
one
to
way
ask you
to say
something, and I think this is educational. And your agent,
Mhm.
what was the nationality of your agent?
He's a white guy, a
Okay.
Jewish white guy.
Okay. Your manager, did you have a manager at the time?
White guy.
Okay. Your realtor, what was he?
White guy came with the agent. No, actually, that was a black lady.
Okay.
Realtor was a black lady.
Who did you buy your car from?
I brought my car from Nally in my hometown, GMC
Okay.
in my hometown, but
Black
it
guy?
was
Black guy?
GMC. No,
Your jewelry, who was your jeweler?
I didn't have a jeweler.
So you didn't do the jewelry thing?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So basically, predominantly, you come in, a kid, 18-year-old kid coming out of barely high school, and you get thrusted in the NBA, the number one pick, all eyes on you. Then you're surrounded with people that's saying, pay me here, pay me here, pay me there. You buy this, you buy this. But they just so happen to be white people that's going to get you money, but also saying, you need to spend it here, you need to spend it there, you need to spend it here. How responsible were you with your money early on, being that you was an 18-year-old kid?
I wouldn't necessarily say they know how to get you money. They know how to tell you they know what to do with your money better than
No, I
your
mean
wrist.
that they got to negotiate your contract. They have to do some of the things. So he's gonna get you money. But yeah, that's what I meant. But
Well, when it's time to invest, when it comes to the investment side, they'll try to put you in things that you don't necessarily understand. Me, I understand simply. They don't make no more land. So a lot of the financial people talk me out of things that I wanted to do, because I realize now it wouldn't have made them anything. So a lot of these young players, they have family members that they can't trust them, because a lot of family members are trying to get what they want. So what happens is these financial advisors love up on them, and they try to pretend like they're trying to save them, when really they're trying to do what's the same thing as some of the family members are trying to do.
Got you.
Everybody's trying to get a piece of what they can get before you don't have anything.
Got
Because
you.
in their mind, they're thinking you're not going to have anything. But most athletes, if you leave them alone, if they're not responsible for mama, daddy, uncles, and nigga, we made it. That's the culture around most of these athletes. I never had jury. I lived off of my Adidas contract. I had $1.5 million coming from Adidas. So I didn't touch my NBA contract. I invested. I was with CSI Capital Management, and I tried to buy hotels. I wanted to play Monopoly in real life. So anything I've ever lost, I'm in hedge fund deals with the people that everything is supposed to be okay. These are the smartest people in the world. I'm in hedge fund deals with Kevin Garnett and all of these people that they do their due diligence, but somehow the deal always go kaput when us athletes are in it. And us athletes are the last ones to get our money back. And so if I was these athletes, I would tell them, only do business in the summertime and start small. Go buy you a building in the summer. I went down to the courthouse steps in Atlanta. I bought a building for $88,000 one summer, sat on it for 3 years and sold it for $350 and didn't touch a brick on it. So it's important that we start doing things on our own, and nothing should be fast. It should, and I would always, oh, I got this money, I want to try to make some more money. That's gonna be the way you lose your money, because you don't have time to watch your money, stay in shape, eat right, be at practice, and be what you need to be, and you're watching your money. You don't have time to do all that. So it's best to just wait until the summertime, make you a little something on the side, have that residual income coming in, and wait until you can focus on it again in the summer. Because a lot of these athletes, believe it or not, these quote unquote smart people are stealing from them. And we believe the hype because A, they don't have a degree. B, they tell you nice stories. Oh, well, he was young. Oh, well, he's from this place. Oh, well, they're from that. So they make it believable. But really, if you look at behind all these guys getting their money taken from Kevin Garnett, and I won't be sued, from Kevin Garnett to Tim Duncan, Scottie Pippen, Christian Laettner, to all these guys, myself, if you look at it behind it, these are supposed to be the smartest people in the world. But somehow money is always took.
Got you. So, as far as Jordan, what is it? Because people think he's the one who drafted you. He the one that didn't want you there. He's the one who was hard on you, and he pushed you to a brink of where you didn't have no more confidence in yourself and you couldn't play anymore. What are some of the misconceptions about those thoughts?
I don't think it was Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan just didn't get what he wanted, which he wants to win. Everybody knows that's how he is. But it was more of a league thing. The league didn't want it to do what it's doing now. They weren't ready for that. When I came there, it was beers and drinks and a party in the locker room. When you add an 18-year-old kid, now you got grown men. They can't have their drinks. They can't have their cigarettes. They can't have their cigars. So they're like, who the fuck is this young kid came in here and mess up the league like how we know it? So they hated me. Most people hated the fact that you allowed these young guys under 21 to come into the locker room, because now the locker room and everything around it has to change, because they gave me a grown man paycheck, but they wanted to treat me like a kid when I done seen way worse than this. They don't know where I'm from. You drinking don't got shit to do with nothing.
Yeah. Do drinking at 12 where I'm from. Yeah, drink a corn liquor at 12.
Way worse than this. You don't got, but they're so detached from reality. They think most of these guys that are drafted are from some of the worst neighborhoods. It's just some of us get passes to play. People don't bother us because we hoop. And so, but we still know what's going on. But society is not ready for that reality. They are ready now. A lot of these young guys should appreciate what I went through, what I appreciated what Jermaine O'Neal went through. Guys that sometimes it don't always go right for the first people to do stuff, but it opened the doors for the people that's coming behind you.
So you're playing, you're getting playing. At what point are you playing every game?
Never. If you look at my career, I barely played over 30 minutes. There were games where I'll play. That's how I got contracts. A lot of people don't want to talk about the analytics of the game. Most of these commentators, they don't know shit about basketball
because they never played. They never played. Yeah, they never played.
Yeah. These are the guys who love basketball and love the guys around it, so they become fanboys. A lot of these sports guys can't even talk honest about players who are destroying the game or holding on too long because they like them. And that's how I know it's all about who we like. But me, I love the game in a different level. It's all about winning. If we're not winning, I don't care about numbers. I don't care about none of that. I used to win all the time, and that's all I wanted to do was win.
So you never played more than 30 minutes a game. What if some people say because you wasn't good enough to play? Clarify that.
Well, the plus minus would say a different story.
Gotcha. Analytically.
The analytics is the reason why I got the contracts. When they played me 30 plus minutes, and Kevin Garnett was the upper echelon power forward at the time. So they would measure everybody off Kevin Garnett. If they get 30 something minutes, they would compare it to other guys that's top of the league, number 2, number 5, whatever. And what do they do in those minutes? And my numbers were double doubles every time I played 30 something minutes. And so it's like, if it's on the board with some of the top 5, top 10 guys, at one time in the league, I was like number 4, number 5 at getting to the free throw line. So it's like, it was in spurts. There was, with Doug Collins, the problem is I broke my foot one year. If you look, Zion Williams, he broke his foot. He didn't play for the entire year. It took a whole year to come back, and then they coached him back. When you're at a team that don't really want you, I came back. I broke my foot that summer. I was playing the next year. I was playing in that season. 10 months after breaking my foot, they're looking at numbers when I'm out of shape, overweight. I'm saying I don't trust my foot, but Doug is like, you got to play. Because the whole time they were still trying to trade me before MJ decided to do what he was going to do.
Before he left. because we
Yeah,
knew.
everybody know how he left.
Got you. So I mean, what's the thing? Because the thing with Jordan, like I said, what was your relationship with? Was it just a player? What was he an asshole? Like what is it? I'm confused because I see The Last Dance, I see his interviews, I see these people say, what was he like with Kwame Brown?
He was, see, the reason why I never disrespect Jordan, because he liked that with everybody. I can respect a man that don't change for nobody else.
Got you.
MJ is who he is. We call it asshole. He's just great.
Got you.
And he's gonna expect, he holds himself at the standard that he holds you to. And most times people can't get to that standard. Is he abrasive? Is he abrupt? Will he slap you in the back of the head? Will he cuss you out? He'll do everything your uncle would do. He'll do everything your cousin would do. It's just some people take it too serious because he's MJ.
Got you.
But at the end of the day, he's just a man.
Got you.
And so I've never bashed him. I'll tell the truth, but is he more asshole than my uncle? No, they're about the same. He's just a regular dude. And if people start viewing people as regular dudes, then they won't get upset when they meet their idols. They know this is just a man.
So when you coming in here 18 though, did you understand that this is what's going to happen? Like, what was your expectation? Because again, you're in a grown ass man body, but you're still only 18 years old. And your experiences is your experiences, but you're still 18. Now you're on the road. Now you're traveling, hotel, plane, women. Did you process it all?
I mean, no, you can't process it all until it happened, but I was the best player in that draft.
Gotcha.
If they do that draft all over again, you minus MJ out the way, you give me the reps that Paul Gasol got, you give me the reps of any other number one draft pick. There's never, people don't like to be honest. There's never been a number one draft pick. We can have the theories of why it happened, but the truth is, and this is only the truth, there's never been a number one draft pick that had their owner and a legendary figure come play at the same time they got drafted. That has never happened in the history of the game. Number two, there's never been a number one draft pick that didn't get the keys to the arena and didn't get the ball. I was the only number one draft pick that's ever happened to. And so in order to protect this image of a 39-year-old man coming back, having his hoop dreams on a team that he part owns, they don't want to be honest that could have stifled my growth. And I have supreme confidence. There's no way. You can see the meetings with me and Paul Gasol when I'm older, when I have the labels, when I didn't get the reps, and it still don't really go his way. And so I say with all confidence, I was the best player in that draft. I know it. And that's why I don't never feel down on myself, because I know what I did to every man they put in front of me. I never really got the ball.
How many teams did you play for?
I played for, let's see, I got drafted by Washington, went to LA, stopped in Memphis for a second, went to Detroit, Charlotte,
Golden State,
and Golden State,
gotcha.
And then Philly.
So you played with two arguably the greatest players in NBA history. What is the difference between Kobe and MJ?
Nothing.
Seriously?
Nothing.
Is it literally the same person, like personality? Explain that to the people.
Kobe is he was a very meticulous man. And he studies greatness. Anybody who was great at something, soccer, baseball, football, Kobe is going to admire that because he knows what it takes for you to get to that level. Boxing, he loved Floyd. So he mimicked whatever MJ did. He was like the closest thing. It was weird. It was so eerily similar to practice against MJ and then practice against Kobe. He would do the same move. It's just at that age, Kobe was faster at it. Kobe was better at it because he was younger. But I could see how MJ would probably be better than Kobe at that same age, because MJ was a different type of cat.
Got you.
MJ had he had dog, but he had like a insecurity with his dog. He had to prove that he was the best. It was like a fear to not be the best for MJ. I guess because he didn't. He got cut that one year, so it drove him crazy to not be the best. And I think it did that for Kobe too. but it just was a little bit more with MJ.
Got you. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Championships. What does that mean to you being an ex-NBA player?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's hard to win a game, let alone a championship.
Yeah.
I hate that they make these players' lives all about winning a championship. You got to understand, man. You got to enjoy the first thing about it. It's a game. Any NBA player should be able to live a dream. But what happens when you're a black male and you get drafted, it becomes your prison. They just had a young man quit down in Orlando. There's a young man, I can't remember his name. Carcino was just talking to me about it. A young man just walked away from millions of dollars. He hadn't got a chance to play yet. But because of the media scrutiny, the media bullying by guys who can't even play, we have Skip Bayless creating names like Bosh Spice.
We're going to get into them. Let's hold on. We're going to get into all of that in a minute. So let me ask you something. When does Kwame Brown realize my playing career is over? I probably could go overseas. I probably could do something, but it's over. It's over. When did that day hit you? What did it take for you to realize, yo, it's over?
When I had that avulsion fracture, I had a avulsion fracture is when your hamstring tear away from the bone. It tears away from the bone while I was running. And I said, yeah, man, this is it. I've had so many injuries. As you get older, it's harder for you to recover. Teams don't wait on you for you to recover. The disrespect comes in and it goes younger. So I say, you know what? I'm done. I mentally checked out. And when I didn't care what coaches were saying, when they would get too crazy, I say, yeah, I'm gonna hang it up, because if I can't get into proper shape, if I can't give a real effort, I mean, I could have hung around for a couple of years like a lot of these older
collect
guys.
Some checks.
Be a nice guy and say I'm mentoring when I'm just collecting checks. But that ain't me. If I can't carry the threat and be in shape, if you need me, then I'm not gonna do it.
So a bus. You accepted the name and actually try to, use it for your advantage. But when they look up that you've been called that, and you stayed quiet for years. I didn't even know you was on YouTube. When we say bus, when people say bus, when they say failure, besides Greg Oden and Sam Bowie, you're in there. What made you finally speak? Because when you finally spoke, I was like, what the hell just happened? When was it enough for you?
It's the invalidation of a man. It's former teammates that they smile in your face. They call you behind the scenes, invite you to their clubs, and their wife can hang out with your girl behind the scenes, but when they get on those radio stations where white folk pay them, they make little jokes that invalidate a man, and then they try to pretend like it's all good and love and you just tripping, when really it ain't like that. Like, you don't ever disrespect a man like that. You don't ever invalidate a man. You can have whatever opinion you want about my game. You have the right to do that. But they excluded me from a factual trade. You want to make me so insignificant? My name got to come up in every little joke. These ain't even these guys' podcast. They don't understand how many times those white folks use my name. Every draft pick, millions of views to say my name. So I said, you know what? Let me show you that not only are these guys pussy, let me show you that they're phony and they weak. Because I'm going to show you that in real life, they'll never talk to me like that by themselves. In real life, I own buildings.
What you said, I jump on your ass like a trampoline?
Oh, yeah. Like, Jack would never talk to me like that in real life. And I'm not saying that.
Was y'all friends, though? But see, because this is what I want to know. Were you friends with these guys and then they was on podcasts? You're like, hold up, the homie disrespected me. What's going on?
Listen, AI pulled up on me like, man, I don't like to see y'all doing that. This is that, because he's friends with him. I don't know Matt Barnes. I don't know these guys. A lot of these guys just jump on the bandwagon. A lot of these guys are monkey see, monkey do guys. They don't have no real life, so they love the group.
Go along, get along. That's what you named them, right?
They go along, get along. They like, I was the dude in the locker room. I would sit there and I don't say much. So I'm joking around with the dudes that I'm messing with. But Jack is the loud dude that got to be tough all the time. So we hung out a few times in Charlotte, me, him, and Tyrus Thomas. But
for one thing, Jack, you're talking about Stephen Jackson, because the audience. Yeah, okay, yes, okay.
Like, his fiance used to hang out with my baby mother. So it's like, it's weird how he carried it. Like, I don't talk about him. You never heard me speak about him. And like, and when I called him, I didn't disrespect him. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why would you? And on the phone, it was a different conversation. But then over the internet, that's when I started to realize he two different people for the internet. Like, a lot of these guys are two different people.
Got you. So you embraced the name, and then you started really going, and then it started seeming like, well, they probably tried to play like you was bullying them after a while, like you was fucking with them when you was originally the one that was spoken about. Was it a time where they was accusing you of stalking, harassing, bullying them after a while when you was just really responding?
Yeah, that's what bullies always do.
Okay.
When I stood up to my first bully in school and I hit him in the face, it turned out he was a coward. Stephen A. has been talking about me for over 20 years. The only time he's ever addressed me when he tried to embarrass me or disrespect my name again on those white folks show. But when have you ever heard Stephen A. say, you know what, I'm gonna answer his question on why I went to high schools and colleges to talk about the way this guy performed on an NBA court?
So let me ask you, because I need a clarity on that. What you're saying is that he campaigned, he toured to tell the young kids, don't go straight from high school to the NBA because of what happened with you? That's what you're saying?
People don't understand. Every McDonald's All-American that shows up on a college campus, there's literally $2-3 million go with that All-American. Every last one of them. I was a McDonald's All-American. University of Florida that year was going to get myself, David Lee, and James White. And then the next year, they were going to get Anthony Roberson. That's 4 McDonald's All-American. They were going to get at least $3 million, $2 million per person. Universities are missing out on a lot of money when a player of my caliber and everybody else caliber do not attend those schools. Why do you think they had to get Deion Sanders out of Jackson State? That's why it's funny to me why the Black community don't see. We got to keep the best of ours. And we allow people to paint these narratives about us. Everybody was talking crazy about me, but I just don't get it. I got picked team after team after team. And these guys, they started this one and done rule. Do you think players get better by spending 6 months on a college campus, or do they sell jerseys forever? Because Kevin Durant didn't get any better by going to Texas. He was already Kevin Durant.
Facts.
He was a man amongst boys at Texas. Kyrie Irving, he barely even played at Duke. But Kyrie Irving's jersey is going to always sell. If Kyrie Irving passes away, his jersey from Duke and every other place is going to go up.
And he gets nothing. And he gets nothing.
Yeah. He gets nothing. His family gets nothing. The same way when I turned down the DJ Vlad interview, he said, oh, okay, well, you don't want to interview. What does he do? He go and ask everybody that knew Kwame Brown. Well, how was Kwame Brown? Hey, Gilbert, what about Kwame Brown? Because he knew Gilbert was going to say something negative. He go grab Charles Oakley. They go grab all these people around me because I said no. So if I can't make no money with you, then I'm going to just make money off.
Oak wasn't never your people? Oakley wasn't your people?
Oakley was, I never had a problem with Oak. That's why I don't understand that. But you got to understand, when you want to be in the industry, I don't want to be in nobody's industry. And if I ever get in that industry, I'm going to be me. And they understand that. So I'm unapologetic who I am. I'm happy where I am. I get to say what I want. I get to do what I want. And that's what these guys don't have. They are fame whores, and they got so much stuff that they're not working to enjoy life. Life is working them because they got to keep up with this image.
So let's not gloss over that. Let's stay there. So Stephen A., you heard, did you hear it, or did you hear this what he was doing, or you heard him actually doing it, saying
it's on video? On
videos, using your name.
And guess what? Here's how the powers that be are so good. They know I'm right. They've been trying to invalidate me this whole time. I don't know if Disney paid Stephen A. Stephen A. came out of nowhere. He has no talent. Imagine somebody who
he could box.
Can't play basketball.
He could box.
Okay, yeah, right. But imagine somebody who can't play basketball, who who you can look up his record at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He now is the guy that gets to label and talk about every basketball player. It makes no sense. The stuff that we allow to go on, it makes no sense. Stephen A. never got picked out apart. But if you really look at the reality of what went on, I got drafted out of high school. I'm on the steps and got the key to the city. All these kids are around. It's in the newspaper. I remember it like yesterday. They asked me, how did you do it? What was so special about it? And I looked and I said, it wasn't that special. It wasn't so hard. I said, I was in a cheese line. My father's in prison. My mother's on welfare. I was just focused on something. It's not that big. You have to focus on something. The guys who focus and dedicate themselves to something, I said, I'm no different than nobody else. It's in the paper. And I think that day I fucked up because they want you to be a celebrity. They want you to be above people so you can create idol worshipers. I've always rejected this celebrity thing. And I think it allows people to pull me apart.
Your humility hurt you.
Yeah, it's allowing people to see me on that same level. Well, so if you don't want to be a celebrity, fuck you then. But it's like they train people to put people above them. And I just don't feel like I'm above nobody. I just work hard. That's it.
Why didn't you, if they invited you on the shows, why didn't you go confront them personally? Because I'm pretty sure could you have not gotten on ESPN to confront him?
They never invited me on ESPN.
To this day.
They want to act like I don't exist because they know when folks when they can't deal with the truth, they ignore you. They send people like Gilbert at you to create an argument or misdirect. It's about him jealous of me. Anybody who know me know I don't give a fuck. I'm a country boy. I don't give a fuck about that.
But you and Gilbert was cool too. How do y'all go from being like in a sorority of athletes or brothers to publicly now y'all beefing? I think it's weird as shit, personally, especially if y'all was teammates.
Because everything I said was right. He gets paid to do that.
Got you.
You never heard me say nothing about any person until they said something about me. And so, now that I'm on YouTube, I give my critique, I give my opinion. I don't throw the whole man away. I saw D Wade in a dress. I said, men don't do that.
Facts. I agree with that.
I saw Russell Westbrook in a dress. I never seen men do that. I don't know that type of man. I gave my opinion. But did I throw the whole man away? No.
How do you feel about Skip Bayless? Is he another one who criticized you a lot?
I don't pay attention to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is a loser. Most of these guys, like, what has he ever done? Like, my high school record beat his. My middle school record beat his. Like, I'm not going to argue with somebody who did the same thing as me. And just because I went professional, and like you are not in this lane. I'm not arguing with you. I'm supposed to be arguing with Shaq, Charles Barkley, those guys. I'm not going to argue with you. I can find a guy direct to beat you.
Got you. Why didn't you go to the Breakfast Club? I'm pretty sure you was invited. Were you ever invited?
Because the disrespect. To me, Charlemagne is not the type of black man I would ever want to be around. The first thing he did before he had any understanding of what was going on, he followed his money. Allegedly, he's connected to All the Smoke podcast. So I'm a black #1 draft pick. And the first time you introduced me to the Breakfast Club, you talk about something my daddy did. I had that stigma over me my whole life. That's why a lot of people didn't get whipped. That's an old white boy tactic. That's why I said these niggas know these white boy tactics. They measure, they always label all of us. And so because I knew my father was a murderer, I know I'm going to be judged differently. So I have to behave in an extra certain way. And so it's a bad thing that's what they put out instead of what is this guy really saying? Stephen A. Smith, a black man. When have you ever, if I was a black woman, there would be trophies of me all across America. If I was a white guy, I would be on every Wheaties box. I'm a black man out of high school, and they taught black people to devour me instead of uplift me. Why would Stephen A. Smith, in the history of sports, what was he doing in a stand-up comedic style, talking to kids in high school and colleges about me? What was the purpose of that? Why won't they answer that?
So do you realize that the common folks don't understand basketball? They don't understand analytics, and all they perception is people's reality. We know
Yeah.
that. So the
Yeah.
perception to the people is that you weren't a good player. MJ didn't want you. This is the narrative that had been ran for you're not a good player. You suck. No team wanted you. Kobe didn't like you. Jordan didn't like you. So you don't understand why they would run with that, because although it might not be the truth, you say analytically, but this is what's being ran with. And it took you so long to clear the air. So do you understand why people would just say, oh, you was just whack, you was just whack? Because this is what, explain that. Explain, help me understand that.
Because I love basketball.
Okay.
And I watch basketball on a different level than just who's scoring the points.
Okay.
And if you can't see that when I actually did play, I can guard anybody.
Mm-hmm.
When I actually did play, I can go by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
When I actually was healthy, you saw somebody that was 6'11" that moved like a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in a horrible system that I couldn't do nothing about. I'm dealing with a monster that nobody could get around. I'm on a team with Michael Jordan. It's never his fault. And especially when you're 18, 19 years old, you better not say shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I didn't. I'm smart enough to know that you got no win on this one. I had enough wisdom to know you got to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That's MJ. Don't nobody want to hear you say nothing. And so it's all about who we like. It's people in the Wizards organization. They know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew this day was coming.
So how come nobody co-signs? Well, I think Eton Thomas did. I think some of your brethren from the team did. But Kwame, you understand, there's never been a super duper star that say Kwame Brown wasn't garbage. Matter of fact, it was. Who was it? Somebody did do that for you. Who was it?
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. There was never been anybody who said, yo, nah, he was nice. Yo, he blah, 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 blah. Nobody has done that. So it seems like you're just angry, even though you didn't say nothing for a long time, right? You didn't say nothing for a long time, but it seems like nobody is siding with you. And it could be some of the reasons that you said. You understand what I'm saying? They're trying to bury you. But again, they made you the poster boy for something not to be like. You know what I'm saying?
It's not about siding with me.
Okay.
What I find comfort in, I don't need nobody to side with me.
Okay.
No one can articulately go against the things that I'm saying.
Got you.
Have you ever seen somebody other than them telling me that I'm mad or assuming of my emotions when we can't measure that?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard any of them go against the facts?
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, because what I'm saying is that, analytically, I'm not talking about these dudes. The viewer don't know, bro, that per capita it's 200 people in there and 20 are killers. So it's 20 killers, only 200. You understand what I'm saying? So they never knew that when you put the stats, the numbers, they don't deal with numbers, bro.
So they think it's a coincidence that at the same time that the number one draft pick out of high school, that's a black male, they think that it's a coincidence that I played the least amount of minutes played. And simultaneously, there's a media campaign against me, not just from Stephen A. Smith. There's a woman named Sally Jenkins that wrote an article as if I'm the dumbest guy in the United States of America. There's the who's who of these media pundits that don't know me, that spent Rachel Nicholson. They spent 2 or 3 seconds with me and then come away with these theories. I went to a restaurant. They took me to a Greek restaurant in LA. And this is how they groom these guys. They bring you in situations that are uncomfortable to you, and they want you to see how you respond. I just got out of high school. I just come off a bus where we ate McDonald's and for pregame or after the game, and we ate fast food. Why would you take an 18-year-old guy that hadn't even gone to college? Because most college kids, they're eating fast food. Why would you take me to a Greek restaurant where we're eating goat cheese and all these different things? Did you think an 18-year-old kid was going to eat that shit?
Is this hindsight now, or would you think about this in the moment?
This is what I'm telling them.
Okay.
And so they don't like
in the moment. In the moment,
I swear to God, in the moment, I'm at the restaurant. They're like, "Try this, try that." They're trying to get me to try all this. I don't want to try this shit. So I got up from the table, literally the number one draft pick in LA. I walked across the street to go get the dressing that I want. I found dressing across the street. buy it. I come back into the restaurant. I use it in front of them, and they thought it was the rudest shit ever.
So
but I know what I want.
But I always wanted to ask you, why all these years were you so quiet? I didn't understand. We never seen interviews of you in the NBA. Was that by design from you or them? We never seen any interviews from you. We didn't know anything about your mindset, who you was, what you was doing, and then we just see you on YouTube. And I didn't even know, and this is all due respect, I didn't even know that an NBA player could be as articulate as you was and getting your point across, because I never heard you speak. Why was that?
Because I've done several interviews, but if you let the people hear me speak, then it debunks the narrative that you've been saying. So now they've been working twice as hard. Now that I am speaking, they working twice as hard behind the scenes. They dox my house. They got people throwing things on my house and doing all kind of things. And they're doing weird things because they need me to be what they said I was all of these years. When you have a guy defiantly outwardly saying now that you guys are full of shit, you guys are trying to diminish black males. You guys are, I saved my mother. But they got mad at me because I wouldn't get on there and say my dad was the worst thing in the world. I was supposed to allegedly do an Oprah interview. And I'm telling you, it's all about narratives. People get frustrated and it comes off wrong. And that's kind of why I stayed quiet, because I knew it was going to come out frustrated. It was going to come out like I was angry, because you have a right to be angry. Everything that you work for, they want to bring a narrative to give it the credit to someone else. And I was there working every day. I didn't get a chance to be a kid. I had a job since I was 14 years old. And I wasn't supposed to be able to work till I was 15.
Gotcha.
So a man works his whole life to help others, and he still gets disrespected, mostly by his own people. So I realized, I was like, you know what? If I'm a bust, then every kid should be a bust. Because look at what I got. Look at what I own. Look at what I work hard for. Look at this mindset I have. It's a beautiful mindset. I'm not a killer of my community. So if every kid was a bust, then we'd have a better place.
I want to ask you that. Who is your people?
What do you mean, my people?
Because we always say our people as black men, right? We say our people, but most of the hate and criticism we get, who we get it from. So who is our people? Who is your people?
My loved ones that's around me, the people that'll fight for me like I'll fight for them. I don't believe in this whole black community. I believe in the children.
Okay.
The black community is the one that kick you in the ass the most. Show me the community where you hide the killers and it's a community. That's not a community. I tell people all the time, they are allowing black people to kill each other. When you go to these Ivy League universities, and I'm all over the place. I love going to these college campuses because I didn't go to college. I love going to see the different colleges, the park. So when I go over to Yale and you walk up the street, there's a camera on every corner on both sides of the street. There's no way you can do a crime on that campus without going to prison or going to jail. And that's a deterrent. And the hood is right around the corner on either side of that campus. But people don't go on that campus and do anything wrong. Why? Because they know they're going to jail. What if they did that in the hoods before they regentrified? Because what they do to us black folks, they're going to put us in different spots to run the value of the property down. And then they sell it for pennies on a dollar to these hedge funds, give them the money to regentrify it, give them the tax easements, and then defer their tax payments for another 30 years. So they're using black folks for a land grab. That's all it is. We go there, we bring the violence, and everybody know where there's violence, there's no money. They bring you there, you drive down the economics, they throw your ass out, they regentrify it, they're walking dogs around the park that everybody used to get shot at.
YouTube, you are officially on YouTube. Do you feel like sometimes you could be in over your head sometime on YouTube? It's too much expected from you that you can't deliver on sometimes, that you take on too much on YouTube?
No, I think I'm right where I need to be. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do anything for them. Everything I said I was going to do, I did. It's grown people trying to disprove my shoe drive. Okay. All the mothers of those kids hug me and say, thank you.
Got you.
You never heard one mother. I'm on YouTube all the time. Not one mother came up here and said anything. It's always some niggas that don't like me.
Where did it come from though? I didn't understand, because when I know when you came on YouTube, it was a lot of love, and then it just changed. When did it change for you? When did you feel the change?
Because they were starting to do certain things that I noticed. Like most people compete. That's why I watch. I don't hang with a lot of men.
Mm-hmm.
Men compete. I like to hang with women, especially women I'm not having sex with.
Me, you
Because
sound just like me with that word.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a woman that you're not having sex with, she'll be in the right mind frame and she'll help you in ways and won't be jealous of you. She'll
Mm-hmm.
appreciate your rise because she knows she has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But dudes, they compete so much that even if they say they down for you, sometimes as they see you go up, they just don't understand why.
Mm.
And so a lot of the dudes, they started to do certain things. The one guy started cursing out all the women. And I'm just like, this is corny. Like the same one that's attacking you now. He just inserts himself in a negative way because that's how, unfortunately, YouTube is the same way some of these guys act on the streets. If they're not getting nothing, they'll jockey for attention.
Oh, they don't act like that with me on the street. It's a little different on them streets.
Well, they act like that. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
in certain situations, they do that in the streets to other people.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
other
not to
people, they
you.
don't
They
do
do
that
it.
shit to me, because on the streets,
Yeah.
but that's the world I like. I like that world. That's
Oh, I
mono.
tell them all the time.
That's
Real
mano
life,
y mano on the street. This
Yeah.
this is keyboard shit on the street. Nah, hands and feet
Yeah.
when we meet. So okay, you got a lot of people that don't like you. You got a lot of haters, but then you also get a lot of love.
Yeah.
What is if Kwame had it his way? What is your goal? What is your plans? What is your goal?
I want them niggas to take their eyes off of me and get out my way and stop hindering me at every moment.
Okay.
I came here in 2 seconds. I put together a shoe drive. I've been donating to the Saginaw STEM, donating to several other people on YouTube that I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I've helped out so many people and connected so many people. And just like how I use your video, you reach out, we're on the interview today. That's how
Yes.
people need to network on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh, you got the views now. Oh, fuck Doggy Diamond. Da, da, da. And that's how we conversing back and forth. Like, that's corny.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got caught up in it for a second because I like to joke. I like to roast. But at the end of the day, I'm not in the business. And when it start finna get too serious and it's finna get people involved that's not gonna play, I'll tend to back away from it because these guys don't really know that, like, all that stuff they do, that's not real life.
So you got a lot of women and a lot of mothers, and you did the shoes. Is that something that's going to be a recurring thing? Are you going to do it often, or was it a few situations when you did it, or how does that work for you?
See, I've always done that.
Mm-hmm.
I just never done it in a way where everybody knew.
You
People
didn't
call
film
me.
it. You didn't film.
I got
Yeah.
county commissioner just called me right now. I can show you the email. She sent me another donation list. It's like I get hit with that all the time. I just never been the guy that just put it out there. I'm always available for my community, and it's just now I'm gonna do it in a bigger way, a more strategic way.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in a position to where I'm finna do something totally different. I'm not gonna spread myself thin by helping so many other people's community. I'm gonna focus on my community.
Gotcha.
And I got 2 communities that I serve that I'm going to serve the right way. And then hopefully everybody else follows suit.
With the children that want to aspire to get into sports, what is the advice that you could give them that come from a similar background, dealing with parental issues, environmental issues, but they might be great at sports? What is some of the advice that you could give them, being that you was the first one over the wall and took all the bullets? What could you tell them?
You can't take everybody with you.
Okay.
You got to get that unhealthy taste out your mouth. Everybody can't come with you. Anybody around you that don't serve a purpose, tell them bye early. If you start taking care of a man, he's going to resent you for it. If a man is feeling like he's getting an honest pay for honest work, I'm not saying like you can't do a LeBron setup situation to where your homies could work and feel empowered in that situation if you open the door for them, but make them work for it. A lot of these guys have these friends around and they just, those guys are the worst thing for these players. These guys want to sleep with, that's how most of these guys get in trouble. The player meets the women, they all think they're supposed to sleep with the women. But the girl don't know you. Most of these guys don't even work, so they take the tough lane. So that's the first thing these guys got to get under control. Having people around that are not just your friend, have a quote unquote friend around that understands you are a business. And then when it comes to hooping in the basketball side, don't let these teams treat you like you have to negotiate from a position of less than. They want where you come from to make you feel like you shouldn't negotiate as hard or you should just take what we give you. But if you look at majority of the sports, it don't move without us black folk.
Yeah, because I want to, and reason why I'm saying that,
like
is it a system that needs to be broken and rebuilt?
Deion Sanders was doing it. But just like anything, Deion Sanders he understands both sides. It's not just about football. At Jackson State, I can guarantee you heard him start talking about the crime and the grades.
But they robbed him. They robbed his ass.
Yeah. So if you want excellence, it has to be on and off the field. You got to stop accepting mediocre. What I hated the fact that some of us black folk, we like to do the worst bullshit and just cover it up because white folks watch it. You got to start being better than that. Deion Sanders shouldn't have to take a pay cut to coach our kids. He's pouring into these kids. We should pay him more to stay. When they came with 5, we should have came with 7. The man brought money to the university and everything. He's worth his weight in gold. We always talk about what we want from the black community, but the only people seem to get paid is the pastor.
So when you go into a system, your agent is this, everybody is this. That's what I mean. How do we insert ourselves in these fields to where we're going to take care of our own? Because I shouldn't have to go to somebody that's not from my culture and them getting me money, because then they get to say what I'm worth based off of all of these things. How do we change the system to where people from our culture that understand the background, that understand the fatherless homes, the maybe the mother for substance abuse, how do we insert ourselves in the culture of sports more? Because it's us that's making the sport, but we don't control the sport. That's what I'm asking you.
Education.
Okay.
They don't send all of their white kids to go play basketball. They have fun in high school, and then white kids make a decision. I had teammates like, well, I'm getting ready for college. I know I can't play after this. And they'll be decent enough to make the last spot on the team, and they'll be like, no, I'm going to focus on my books. So we got to start telling our kids that, hey, realistically, you're not going to the league. You have to focus on your books. That was first for me. I wasn't just this guy who played basketball. I understood that you had to take care of everything. I was signed, sealed, and delivered to the University of Florida. Scores were passed and done by my sophomore summer. I was ready to go. It wasn't going to be no Prop 48. It wasn't going to be no, is he going to get in? Is he going to pass the graduation test? Is he going to pass the SAT or ACT? It was signed, sealed, delivered, ready to go. And that's what a lot of these guys don't take care of. Somebody told black people, you're going to rap, hoop, or become gangster. And that's what everybody's doing, or play football. Nobody's at a large group. It's not cool for black folks to be in school and do good work. Most kids that's doing the grade stuff, they the lames. They the goofies.
The squares.
They the squares. They got to stop. We got to stop glorifying this rap culture over everything. And that's the problem. Everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to be that guy. When really, you just a regular dude. And instead of being a regular dude, everybody want to be that guy.
So, do you trust anybody anymore?
I trust people. I just don't trust the sneaky shit inside of them. I want to know.
How do you use discernment though? How do you use discernment right now? How do you do it? Because you're a former top athlete. You're had millions of dollars. You done been around the world. You've been around people who you thought was cool, and then they went on interviews and say, "Oh, Kwame Brown is the." How do you trust now? How does it work? And then you in this YouTube space that's anybody could pop up tomorrow and just say, Kwame Brown stole my sandwich when we was 15, and he's gonna get a million views, 100. How do you trust now?
I just take it in stride. The people who believe these dudes that's just saying things for clicks and views, and I met Kwame and he's this, he's that. I laugh. because as long as everybody else enjoyed and get a good laugh out of it, it is what it is. They don't know me. I wish most people would stop getting so offended when people don't really know you. That's like, I don't really know you. So if it's things that I say about you, you'd be like, man, fuck you. You don't know me. And that's just the way people used to be. But now it's like, because he's who he is and he's somebody, now I'm more offended. I'm extra offended. I think that's why a lot of these rappers are getting killed, because some of these guys are men. But unfortunately, having the money, having the fame, having the girls, and having that light on you, they don't want you to act like a man. They want you to have them as their bodyguard. So it's just like it's a weird dynamic. So I guess to answer your question, when I start feeling funny, I just get quiet. And the only thing that I could do to try to is just to trust, take the noise out the way, and just let things go quiet and let the chips fall how they may.
Do you forgive people?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I would want people to forgive me. I've said things that I've made mistakes. I patched it up with saying that, no God. So it's a lot of people that it may look a certain way at first, or start off a certain way, but as long as you don't say certain things and go, too far, anything can be patched up.
Cause reconciliation. I know you get a lot of love, but you do got a lot of hate. Is there any way that you and some people can mend fences? Like, will there ever be a point where you sit with Charlemagne, argue, agree to disagree, and be cool or cordial? No, that's out the question.
No, just the way he did it. I think he a weasel. I've never seen a black man do that in front of them. Like, that's not your radio station. You did that in front of them white folks. You did that. That was purposely done. So I can never fuck with a dude like that. And but it's certain people that, like I said, if you don't go that far, we can all make amends. Because I don't think these guys.
What is that for though? What is that for though? Because I know, to me, somebody saying that I could Frank stand them and all that, that's too far to me. Like, we can never be cool.
That's too far too. The sexual stuff.
Yeah, we not doing that because I'm a man.
But the image, the overall image of a black man, he sat there and read without having a conversation with me. Kwame's daddy murdered somebody. Kwame's sister's crazy. I met her. Kwame's brother cut somebody up, and Kwame might have snapped because of a game, basketball, and he equated murder to a game. He never talked to me, never said anything to me. And this is what he said on a syndicated radio station. I'll never speak to that dude in a respectful manner.
Stephen A. Smith.
He's a coward.
Would you ever talk to him?
Smith, if he would have came to me like a man and say, I was down on my luck, I didn't have a job, I bullied a teenager. I essentially made money off of bullying a teenager. And I apologize. And then maybe we can have a conversation. But to act like what I'm saying is wrong and I'm just mad, there's more than life to a game. You act as if they didn't give me money to play. Like, it's more than
life. You did get paid. You did get a couple of M's.
I got paid. I'm a healthy guy. I mean, I got some injuries, but there's more than life to a game. I like my position in life where I am as a 40-year-old man. When I turn 50, I got a pension out the wazoo, and I got businesses and I got things that I'm in control of. And so most 40-year-olds don't have that. Most 40-year-olds don't have several different properties and several different acres in different cities, despite people trying to ruin their reputation and stealing from them. This is what happened. This is what I have after people stealing from me. Imagine if they never stole.
Was it
my mindset has always been on building.
And I want to get on that, but before we go there, so would you ever go up in would you ever go on All the Smoke?
I mean, yeah, if it was some apologies said, I would love to go on All the Smoke and slap the shit out of Matt for what he said. Because to me, he don't know me.
All right, let's take the slapping out. Let's take the slapping out. Let's take the slapping out. Like, I ain't gonna front you. I'm gonna give you this though. The Becky with the good. The Becky with the. But listen, the Becky with the good hair shit. That shit would have me weak. But I'm just saying, let's take the slapping out.
Okay.
Would you sit with them and tell them that how much of a bitch he is for doing that? Would you ever want to do that?
I think conversations has to be had beforehand. For me to have that conversation and it don't get violent while we're having it. Conversations got to be
still get violent though, bro. It's still good.
It won't get valid from my end if we
Okay.
have that conversation first. Like if
Okay.
he chose to do that, I can't tell nobody else what they do.
Okay.
I'm just talking about from my perspective.
Got you.
For me to sit there and continue a conversation after the blatant disrespect when you don't even fucking know me.
Got you.
He don't know me like that to talk to me like that.
Was he? Do you think he was just following Steven Jackson?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I don't know what type of dudes they breeding now to talk to people like that. But I'm from that era where you don't do that.
Mm.
You don't ever hear me tell a man to do that. I'm not going to invite you to my penis.
Yeah.
I saw a dude shoot a dude point blank in the head with a 38 special.
Actual fact.
Saying that to a man.
Yeah, facts. So, but that's doable.
That,
but that's doable. That's possible and probable that y'all can have a private conversation, get to an understanding, agree to disagree, but you can go on that podcast. That's possible.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these guys need to understand you guys are just men at the end of the day. You're men on TV, but you're not there to embarrass, degrade, or stand on no other man's shoulders. You're not there to do that. Ratings aside, you don't do shit like that. And they're only doing that to black men. And I pointed that out a long time ago. Look at what they did to Shannon Sharp when he said one thing about Tom Brady. Yeah. It ended up being the host disrespected him.
But let me ask you something. Are we, because some people say we could be hypocritical though, because we critique people too. When do we have the right to critique though?
We can critique, but nobody critiques in that manner. They said Andrew Wiggins shouldn't get traded for a box of cereal. To this day, I've never seen a white player they said that to, and in that manner. And then when the kid is playing great and he ends up being damn near the MVP of the finals, they don't come back with that same
clean it
glory,
up.
like they did with that vitriol when he wasn't playing well. The game is about ups and downs. You don't know what he was going through that made him play bad. There's a lot that comes with this game. So to just be there as a mental stick, that you're just beating the hell out of these guys. Why? Why just the black players? There's no bad white players?
I said something. How correct or how much do you agree with this? I said they send black athletes and they send black rappers to attack other rappers, and they send black athletes to attack other athletes, because if they say it, it might come off racist. But if they have the black people say it, it's just keeping it real. But they're really speaking for the white people that want to say it, and they follow the script. How correct am I with that?
I ain't got nothing to say. 100% true.
Yeah, because when you see people say stuff about Kanye and it was like his friend, it was like he's saying it because he can't say it. And some people think he's cool. So when it comes from him, oh, nah, Meek Mill said it, so it got to be real but he's really following the script.
They need a soundbite from a prominent black to validate the stupid shit that they actually think.
Kwame, what's your channel? Let them know your channel.
My channel is Kwame Brown Bust Life, Kwame Brown Bust Life 2.0. But yeah, man, I think I wanted to say I appreciate you for allowing me to use that video, because that video that you did back then was with Ali Vega. I met him in California with Lamar.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
Yeah, we shared a suite together, and I heard him rap. So it was like weird seeing that interview, because I always was wondering why he was good. Like he would rap at the Staples Center at halftime. And when I heard him say what he was saying, I was like, damn.
Now you understand why you don't.
Yeah, and some of the stuff was matching up, because I'm like, man, I've seen people do that. I went to the Playboy Mansion, and it ain't like what you think.
So you trying to tell me, because this is my shit. You trying to tell me you seen some of that weirdo spooky shit? Like,
yeah, they do it. They do certain things. I'm telling you, they do certain things in front of you. They bring you to certain rooms to see how you're going to react. I came to the Playboy Mansion for the women.
Yeah.
It was more dudes than women. The girls are outside. They're greeting you on the way in for the photo op. When you get in there, it's all niggas laying around in the tubs and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm out. I went there. They can see me on camera walking in. You can see me on camera beeline and right out about 10 minutes. So when he said that, when he said, I'm going down the hill and you going up, I'm like, yo, he telling the truth.
So I don't even know what to say. You said you actually bear witness to that. So the mansion parties, the Playboy, that's what goes on in certain places.
I wasn't even old enough to. Matter of fact, I was old enough at the time. I was with the Lakers, So yeah, I was telling my agent, man, I want to get to the Playboy Mansion, man, this and that. And yeah, my one of my agents, all of the agents they're part of the porno industry, majority of them. Most of the sports agents, one or two of them, or somebody with that agency is dealing in porn out in California.
Wow.
So I ended up at a porn set, and that's when I realized, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So they got these, you walk up these steps and you can look down. And so they have these different rooms. So this room is the gangbang room. This room is all women. This room is whatever. And, you know, you're just looking down. I'm just like, what? This is how this shit go? And so, you know, then after that, they'll bring everybody together and it'll be this little party that y'all have. And
that party, like that puffy party with Fab party.
Yeah, man like me, it just be my time to go after that type of shit. It'd be my time to leave.
How many? But it probably have to be athletes that we look at that take place and is okay with it.
The ones that you see dressed in a certain way, the ones that you see wanting to be a part of the it crowd, because there's an it crowd. The ones that you see a part of that, those are the ones that's 9 times out of 10 that's ready to get down with the get down. And the guys that don't, I believe all of the guys that you've seen in these dresses and dancing and being, they want that image. If I go put on a dress and I dance for them and all that stuff, you'll see all positive things about me. But you won't see me in that dress.
Do you do social media?
I do Instagram here and there. Most of the times I just post me riding in the car, listening to some old school music. I'm real old school. That's another thing I got coming. I got a little juke joint I'm about to do.
What's up with you in the truck and the tractor? What the hell you be doing on there? Like you actually do work around your house or do all that? Okay.
My yard was all trees. Like everything was all trees. So I strategically knocked them down myself. But me, with all the lawsuits and all the things that's going on, I focus more on my assets than my liabilities.
You have lawsuits against you, or you're suing people?
Both. A little bit of both. I've been. People don't understand lawsuits is draining. I've been in lawsuits for 7-8 years straight. Damn. So my thing is, I've been maintaining though. You ain't hear me make a cup poop until I came on YouTube. You ain't hear nothing from me. So that's the one thing I respect about myself. A lot of these guys, they have to go run back to the same organization that did them wrong, or they got to go do this or do that. Or a lot of these NBA players are working in warehouses, or they trying to find coaching jobs that take them away from their kids and their family even more. Me, I'm right here available for mine. I'm up here seeing one of my kids now. And yeah.
Why did you leave the culture of basketball though? Why you never became an analyst? Why you never started your own sports show? Why did you leave?
Because I got to say things they want me to say. These guys can't speak freely. If you talk about LeBron, you out of the league. You out of it. I guarantee you can't take an analyst job and be honest about LeBron.
Unless you're white.
Top guy.
Unless you're white.
I'm going to be honest about everything.
Unless you're white.
No.
Skip, because Skip be wild.
Skip is different. Skip about the only one that can say something. He's built up enough of clout and love personality that Skip gonna be able to say whatever about everybody. I don't know why, but he's about that only guy. Everybody else, and you're right. Yeah, Skip, he can say something about whoever, but Stephen A can too.
I think didn't Jalen Rose hold you down before too?
Jalen Rose checked the shit out of him. Jalen Rose.
But did he hold you down before too? I think he said so. Yeah, that's it was Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose kept it real.
He a real one. Like he tried to, even before he held me down, he was trying to get them to understand the name calling. That don't have nothing to do with basketball. I can say, Brother Diamonds, you don't play very well. Opposed to, hey, Doggie Spice or some girl name. That's different. You can receive the other one better than me calling you out your name just to say you don't play well. And that's what these guys do. And it's a lose-lose for Chris Bosh, because if he handled him like a man, you're like provoking this man. And then if he do something to you, you're going to sue him.
Ain't that weird that the whole time we thought Chris Bosh might have been a little zesty, but the whole time it might have been Dwayne Wade the whole time. The whole time we looking at Chris Bosh doing all this stuff. But it might have been D Wade the whole time. That's a whole nother. I said that. Kwame,
you gonna get in trouble for that. D Wade is strong, boy.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I done got enough fucking with D Wade, but
Yeah,
that boy,
yeah,
that's strong. I
yeah,
said something about that Kobe dress.
yeah,
Lord
yeah,
have mercy.
yeah. So, you was big when you first came out on YouTube. You still might be, but you were big on talking about coding and the kids learning coding and different things. How was it a way that somebody came and tried to help you implement that, or that was just a suggestion from you?
No, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm talking with Dante of the Saginaw STEM. I donate to Dante. Matter of fact, I need to send another donation to Dante, but I haven't donated in about maybe about 2 months, 3 months.
Okay.
But normally I'm on a regimen of donating. I tell everybody to donate. STEM is just something in coding is just something that'll give these kids an opportunity to have something to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that Kwame is putting on his back and making it a mainstay for him. It's for your kids. It's for my kids. It's for everybody. These kids are graduating without learning anything. Most of these kids are graduating reading below the average. Most of these little girls, they're just going out and creating babies to have some place to stay. We got to get something better for the hood than nursing for little girls and little boys playing sports or they're going to the port. If we put some trades in these schools, then you would have every young man with a decision to make. He can either go to college or he can go get a job that is going to make him some money that he can take care of a family. Will he be rich? Maybe not. But will he have to go out and rob somebody? Will he have to go out and take from somebody or stand on the corner and sell some drugs? That could be a choice of his. But these fields, you make enough money to take care of yourself. And that's what we need to start having for our kids.
You realize though, when you put out those ideas, it becomes your job to do it now to the public.
That's not true.
To the public. I didn't say you. I said to the public. It's not your job. But what the problem is, when we suggest something, the first thing people say is, so why don't you do it?
That's because they want to absolve themselves from the responsibility of doing it themselves. I don't live in every county and every school district in the United States. This is for the children. Somebody asked a dumb question talking about, does he know coding and trading? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? A lot of people just want to argue with someone. Is this beneficial for kids or not? Kids in New York, kids in Mississippi, kids in Georgia, South Carolina, wherever else, if they had STEM in schools, because most of the people are doing coding. Most of the smartest people in the world are coding right now. They're coding in the 5th grade. All of their kids are doing coding, so why can't our kids do coding? It should be mandatory. It should be taught in a class, coding. It should be every day. It should be taught coding. Everything is turning into that. But we rather teach these kids about who they identify with or what they identify
pronouns
with.
And shit like that.
That's not going to help them in real life. That's not going to put money in their pocket. And we got to start. Parents got to start fighting for this in real time. What are some of the successful groups teaching their kids? They're teaching them coding. They're teaching them trades, some trades. They're teaching them STEM for sure. And why can't we do that? That's why we're left behind. So to argue with Kwame Brown because he's not putting a STEM program all across the United States, I think you're a joke at that point. When you can go down to City Hall or to the school board where you're from. I can go to the school board where I'm from, and we can say with statistics and data and say, this is what all the successful people know. They know how to do this. Why are we not teaching the kids this?
Got you.
Why are we failing these kids by letting politics get in the way of what they actually really need?
Your political affiliations, you're kind of open with that. Were you afraid to be like that, or you don't give a fuck?
I don't give a shit. I just my thing is this. I'm an independent. I'm going to deal with Democrats. I'm going to deal with Republicans. I'm going to deal with independents. I'm going to deal with the people that's going to do what I'm asking. We need trading and coding in schools. If it's a Democrat that'll help me put together a trading program or a STEM program or anything that's going to help these kids, I'm going to work with them. If it's a Republican that'll do the same thing, I'm going to work with them. If it's a Democrat that's going to help me get my building together to put a program there on Saturdays, I'm going to donate to them and work with them. And vice versa. That's what people do. We're the only group that's so emotionally tied to someone. I'm not emotionally tied to any of them.
Mm.
I want to get things accomplished. Whoever is going to help me get that accomplished, that's who I'm rocking with, because that's who's moving forward. Because the only thing I want to get accomplished is progress. I want my community to look like your community.
You've done limited interviews too, even on YouTube. Why is that?
Because most people want to attack you. They want to read you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to listen to understand. They listen to respond and debunk.
Mm.
When I don't know somebody, I just try to understand from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a dog in the fight either way. I just sit and listen, and I try to put myself in their shoes to understand, and not just to say what I wouldn't do.
Mm.
So many people are limited in that way. They instead of putting themselves in your shoes and seeing what maybe you would have went through and what you saw,
Mm-hmm.
they'll say, well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So they automatically make you wrong. And I think that's a limited way to think.
Besides the bus thing, analytically, in your opinion, what is the biggest misconception about you? What do people think about Kwame Brown that's just absolutely not true?
I don't concern myself with that.
like you don't have nothing that bothers you that you keep hearing over and over. Like, yo, man, get the hell out of here with that. Like, nothing bothers you.
Mm-mm.
But you do be responding to people. So
I make it funny.
Okay.
Like me, it seemed like when I respond to them, they're more hurt than I am. This dude say, I don't see my kids, I don't do this, I don't do that. But then I'll be like, damn, how would they know that? So why would I get mad? I can show you text messages with my kids right now, but why? It doesn't serve them any purpose. It ain't like they feeding my daughters. It ain't like when the first come around that child support that I'm responsible for, they're going to give it to
right,
say, fuck your daddy. Here you go. I got you. They're not going to do that. So why would I care about what a bunch of strangers say? And what I noticed is the people that have the most to say, they really don't have nothing going on.
So they did say you have some small ass hands, though. Like, I ain't gonna actually put your hand up and measure.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that. MJ said that. But this is the thing. MJ make everybody's hands look small.
He actually one of the only NBA players that could palm the ball. Pause.
I would love for somebody to put their hands up next to MJ. And this is the thing you got to understand. When somebody is trying to, when a system is trying to justify why something is going on, remind you, I'm not saying anything. The guy who's supposed to be so hurt, so whatever, he ain't talking. He's just playing it how it go. The people who know they did wrong, you notice they kept putting things out there. He's little this, he's a little that, he's this, his hands are small. Well, my answer to that is you drafted me.
Yeah.
You measured my growth plates, you measured my body, you took my weight, you took my urine, you took everything. So you're bad.
What's the difference between that and like a because I liken that to like a slave auction. How close am I?
I mean, I don't know how a slave auction went, but
well, historically they would measure you. They would measure how big you were, how much you weigh, how big other stuff was.
Yeah,
how similar?
You standing there in shorts with no shoes on. I mean, some guys are in tights. You see everything. And they check your nuts. They check everything. So it ain't.
In the NBA thing, they measure your calves and all of that.
They check they know everything about you. So it's funny how they're able to pass that excuse, his hand's too small, when you measured my entire body. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's an excuse. It's an excuse not to place blame that, first of all, they wasn't ready for somebody my age. They wasn't ready to have separate everything for a guy that's too young. There was restaurants and events that they had because alcohol was there. I had to leave.
So you fucked everything
up. But I had to leave. So, they wasn't ready for that. And so I wish people would be more honest instead of trying to make a kid take the blame. I'm a grown man now, but to try to make somebody take the blame for some shit that you did and for some shit that was wrongly done to them. And when you have all of these grown adults, go look up these articles. Sally Jenkins.
Put them in your community. Do you have them? Put them in your YouTube community so people people could grab them later on. Yeah.
It's funny how they make one kid that was a McDonald's All-American that's on honor roll, that's signed, sealed, and delivered. People could go look up my transcripts. But if you look at what they wrote about me and how they wrote, you think this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, how did he get to the league? So let's get this straight. I got small hands. I'm an idiot. I don't like to work out. I'm no good at ball. How did I get to where I got to?
One person in the chat, Jesus Piece, you said slaves didn't get multi-million-dollar contracts. Terrible analogy, bro. Well, they get multi-million-dollar contracts that they eventually lose their money, right? They get robbed for their money, and they can't do and say whatever they want. So how much freedom do they really have? And they have to play the game the way they're told to play the game, when to play the game. They could be sleeping in the bed one night, and then they call them and say, you just bought a new house there? You're traded. You got to go live in another state now. So how much freedom do they really have? Is money freedom? So you're saying,
that's what they think.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying money is the freedom. You need to go read some books. That's not a terrible analogy. That was a right analogy. You need to go read some books.
They got everybody thinking that. You absolutely right.
Because you got money, you free.
You free.
So why Allen Iverson?
A lot of people say that. I would do anything for that money. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So why Allen Iverson couldn't drop his album?
Shit, he better not.
But David at that time, David Stern was like, get the hell out of here. You're not a rapper no more. So again, so you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube. Do you do a show every day or every now and again? Like, how do you?
I do a show every day. They just don't put it out no more. I'm in the process of doing something different that I'm not going to put out, because it seems like there's a team of people listening and watching whatever I say. And the Bible say, I guess the Bible, somebody say, though, you should be so silent that the walls shouldn't even know your thoughts. So I'm at that point now. The things that I really want to get accomplished, I'm not sharing them with nobody until I get them done. And I'll just let them see it. Because right now there's forces and there's things, even a shoe drive that I wanted to get done. There's so many people hating and so many things going on just to give away shoes. Like it's a shame. The so-called community, the way we hold people accountable, it's a shame that the ones that call themselves holding people accountable, if you look at what they do, that's all they do.
But that's why I asked you, who's your people? This shit is hard to see right now, man, because all I get is so much resistance. And I'm like, damn, like all the shit that I've done and do for this culture, I still have people who will down me and say, you ain't shit in this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But Kwame, man, I want to thank you for joining me today. Anything that you feel that I missed, that when you look back at the interview, I'm going to send you a copy as well, so you can post on your channel. Anything that you feel like you missed and you want to go over, and we could just talk about, my platform is always open for you. I love to come on your platform as well, and maybe you can ask me some questions about hip hop, the culture, and all that. And this was a long time coming, and I appreciate you for being honest, being yourself. Nobody is perfect. We doing what we can, but I'm just happy that you're making an attempt. And I sent you a DM a long time ago. Look what I told you in that DM. I told you a long time ago, Kwame, do not answer these people on YouTube. Do not answer these YouTubers. Go look at the DM from Dog. I sent that to you a long time ago.
I've seen a lot of people say that, but I did it for a reason. Like I wanted people to see a man that opened himself up, a so-called celebrity that come down, and a lot of people ate with me. A lot of people was eating. I'm trying to show them that this is what YouTube is supposed to be for, networking. But they always say these cliche things on TV of black folks need to come together. And what did you see people do to a person that wasn't threatening to anyone? They try to devour me. But the thing about me is that I have things outside of YouTube. And now that people are watching me the way that they're doing, I get to dictate what they see and what they look at. Gotcha. So it's always a good and bad and everything. And I just try to focus on that good.
I ain't smoking no hookah, though. I don't smoke no hookah.
Yeah, I'm done with the hookah.
I must say, I ain't smoking no hookah. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I never go take a hit.
Me up. I'm done with that hookah for a while. I try to get in shape, Jack.
I go to the gym every day. I just left the gym. I used to be 300 pounds, bro. I used to be 300. You know what I'm saying?
So, that's what's up, man. Congratulations.
So my audience know about me eating and working out, and more food is mental than it is what you ingest. You know, what you ingest mentally is very, very important. But, let's try to put some things in play. Even some of the people who don't understand or think that they hate us or think that they don't know, maybe we could give some people understanding and have them join in. Because a lot of times it is ways to bridge a lot of gaps. A lot of stuff is stupid. And it is ways.
I want to say this for the youth, man, for the kids. Like, if you want to take anything away from my life and measure anything, that grit and that perseverance. Have you ever known what it's like to have the whole world talking about you? Have the whole world say you ain't shit. I ain't run, I ain't jumped, and I ain't never been afraid. So that takes something. That shows me who I am. A lot of people, if 10 people talk about some people, they ball up in the corner and cry. I had the whole world talking about me. So you got to persevere through things in life. In life, things are going to happen to us all. There's no excuse. You can move forward. I'm not ashamed of whatever name they call me. My kids call me daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I get the respect that a man's supposed to get. A name ain't shit but a name. What I do every day makes me who I am. And that's what young kids got to realize. With this internet and this fool's gold world, you got to really have a knowledge of self. And if you don't have that, you're going to be consumed by some BS. So salute to you for having me on, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Anytime you need me, man, just reach out. I'll get your number from Queen Regina.
Yes.
And I'll shoot you my jack so we can keep in touch.
Yeah, and again, I commend you for being tough, because a lot of times we've seen a lot of people hang up and take their life behind that pressure, and people don't understand. And I tell this to my audience, man. With us, we under so much pressure as black men. All we have is to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is kicking us in our ass, like you say, kicking our drawers in our ass. All we can do is be tough, and sometimes it's turned into hyper masculinity, and it goes into attacking people because we always feel attacked. So for you to laugh and shit and do shit, you better than me though, because I ain't laughing at shit. You fuck with me, I ain't laughing. I'm not. Well, anyway, I can't say that on the air, but you better. I'm just saying.
I never wanted to be in nobody's jail cell because an idiot got me there. If I go there, it's because of the decision that I made, and I could feel bad about myself. I can't let no idiot run me to nobody's jail cell.
But ain't nothing like seeing the blood.
I like too many parts.
And ain't nothing like seeing the blood run out of somebody's mouth because they ran it. I love that more than anything. I love that shit. Know. I love that shit. But Kwame, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to send you this video as soon as it processes, and I appreciate you, man. Later on.
Thanks a lot, brother. Yes, appreciate you for having me.
All right, y'all, man. That was Kwame Brown, man. We finally did it. We finally make it happen. I hope that y'all are pleased with the interview. If you
we did it. The interview is over. I got to go. Well, actually, I don't got to go.
We're going to go live on his channel.
I ain't eat nothing all day. But thank y'all for stopping by. I'm sorry the sound was out. But once he sent me the video, we'll jump.
Yeah, I had to leave his live stream because we was live on his. But I appreciate y'all for being here today. Hopefully, y'all are pleased with the interview. Hopefully, I asked him a lot of questions that you wanted to hear. I've never had him on my platform before, so some of the things that I didn't know from him, so I was able to get that. And it is what it is, man. Yo, I appreciate everybody. I don't have no beef with nobody. I don't have no problems with nobody. I'm just here to do my job. You know what I'm saying? My job is to ask questions. I don't know anybody's personal life. I don't know any of that. I just know what I see, what I saw, and some of the things I heard. And I tried to get how he came into the NBA, the pressures of being a child coming into the NBA, then being a man in the NBA, and being in a lot of situations. So hopefully, man, y'all receive it. All I do is my job. I have some more surprises coming up. We're going to end this year with a bang. That's what it is, man. I'm Doggie Diamonds. As you know, I do a lot of stuff for up-and-coming artists and people who need the help. So only for $100, I'll promote whatever you need on my social media and my website. That's my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and my website, www.doggiediamondstv.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggie Diamonds for your promo, serious inquiries only. And if you need anger management, domestic violence intervention, life coaching, then Karim Blizz Johnson can help you. Contact him on Instagram at Karim Blizz Johnson for your assessment. Now, I wouldn't be nothing without y'all. Y'all are my therapists, y'all are my friends, y'all are my homies, y'all are my sisters, y'all are my bros. Yo, man, I appreciate y'all because there's many a times that I've been going through stuff and personally, internally, and I came to talk and vent and talk to y'all, and y'all heard me out. So that shit mean the world to me. Y'all my motherfuckers, we rock. This is what we do on a day-to-day basis. And, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So until next time, walking around me, you gotta tiptoe.
Sick